Okay, it is now 3:01 on February 15th, 2022. I will call to order the February 15th meeting of the Board of Fire Commissioners. We have a quorum with Commissioner Destruge and Mayor Rilling. First item on the agenda is acceptance of the minutes of the regular meeting of, November 16th.
November 16th, yes. So moved.
Okay. Any corrections, deletions, additions?
Yes, on page 2 at the top, Mayor administered the Fire Department Assistant Chief oath to Captain Mark Conti, and the next one should be, it should read, Mayor Rilling administered the Fire Department Captain oath to Lieutenant Roy Gagney.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Those are the only items that I noted. Sorry about that.
Any other corrections or deletions or omissions? Seeing none, all in favor of the minutes as corrected?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next item on the agenda, action items. There are no action items to discuss. And now it brings us to the fire chief's report.
Yes, hi, Mayor. Good afternoon. So we're now 7 months into our new year, and we're actually not doing as bad as I hoped. We're not doing that bad. Actually, we're at overall 57.7%. And of course, we're still watching the firefighting wages and salary, and also the overtime account. And we're closing the gap on the overtime account. So with 5 months to go, we're hoping if we can average about where we are this month, we should be able to get through this year without asking for any other additional money. So we're going to watch these two accounts closely, in the coming months to go.
Okay.
The comparisons with last year, the sick time and the injury time are very similar to what they were in 2021. So the only thing that really stands out is the vacancy numbers, because we had so many earlier at the end of last year, middle of last year. So we'll keep an eye on that. So, questions?
No.
Nope. That's good. Thank you for the update on the finances, and seems like you're right where you need to be.
Yes.
Okay, next item is the Assistant Fire Chief of Administration, Assistant Chief Conti.
Good afternoon, Mayor. Good afternoon, Commissioner Destruge. So right now we're working on the ESO, our records management system, the software upgrade. We've signed the contract. It was in the beginning of this year. We're working to migrate all of our data from the old software to the new software. So it's a pretty large process, but we're working on that. It's pretty much meetings, weekly meetings, and our goal by the company is to be live with the new software by May. So we're right now we're on track. We're migrating everything over pretty quickly. So that's working very well. Our station alerting system that we're working on, I've gotten the approval for the contract, for the HG contract, and right now I'm actually just trying to we're trying to move that forward to the city upgrade. Trying to see where we're at on that, so we can start that process to upgrade all the stations for our alerting systems. And that's in conjunction with the citywide communications upgrade. We secured all the licenses. We're actually upgrading all the radio systems to now include Westport, who's already upgraded to the state system, and Stamford. They upgraded. So we're now in the process of updating our template, so we can operate on all different towns with Westport and Stamford. Right now, and that obviously is in conjunction with the new radio and our mobile radios for our apparatus, as well as the portable radios, are all getting reprogrammed. I'm working with Norcom right now in order to do that. Hopefully that'll be done in the next month, is what we're trying to schedule. So for our dispatch, we met with Assistant Chief McCabe, and I met with Lieutenant Blake last week. We're going to start doing periodical meetings and just for updating different dispatch issues on both sides and updates. We're drafting new procedures, trying to simplify it and make it more efficient for both sides. We're trying to, so we're all on the same page, and simplify procedures for calling mutual aid, for response time, for being in and out of service, and trying to keep the radio waves sort of clear, because we're getting busier. The call volume has been getting busier every year, so we're trying to upgrade our responses in conjunction with that. The fitness equipment grant that we received, everything was delivered on the 11th, and it's all in service. So everything's working properly. It was delivered to all the stations, and everybody's utilizing the new equipment for the grant. So as far as the building, Station 1, we're working with the contractors. We're finalizing the scope of work. They are hopefully going to begin work as soon as tomorrow. As far as with the bonding company, there was just a couple additions to the bonding company that there was some oversight. So the bonding company agreed. So they've increased their scope of responsibility, and now now the contractor is supposed to be starting, like I said, as early as tomorrow. We'll confirm that then. And for the security cameras, everything's been installed since we've last spoken, and they are being utilized right now in all the stations.
Very good. Now, the contract for Building 1, that's an addition to the other things they've discovered that they need to work on?
Yeah, the contract right now, the scope of work that's going to start now that's from the bonding company, from the original scope of work. They're starting all the remedial work that needed to be done from the other previous contractor.
The other stuff will come later with an addendum to the contract? Okay.
Yeah, we've applied for that.
Okay. Any questions, Commissioner?
Oh, no questions. Thank you for the updates. Great work.
Very good. Glad to see the fitness equipment is there. Everybody can
Mhm.
drop their gym membership.
Exactly.
Okay, Assistant Fire Chief of Operations, Assistant Chief McCabe.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So in the last month, we finished updating the pre-incident plan and response SOP for King Industries. And I've also worked with the IT department to move that new SOP and our pre-existing incident plans to the Department OneDrive, which means that they will be able to be accessed in the apparatus on the iPads. So that information will be able to be checked en route to calls. We've worked, continued to realign the personnel in the department in preparation for the next class of firefighters that'll be coming out of the academy late in May, and also to prepare for the drop pension retirements at the end of the year. So making sure that the vacancies across all 4 shifts are even, and also that the skill sets as far as some of the specialized equipment, specialized companies across the city are covered sufficiently now, and also when that drop hits, we should still be in good shape.
Good planning.
We've had an ongoing review of the standing operating procedures. The emphasis this past month has been on active shooter response, and our new captain, Roy Gagney, met with me, and he actually teaches active shooter response for LSU. So we had a meeting, and I appointed him as our point person to make sure that our SOP is up to date, and for him to work with the police department and also the hospital to make sure that we are in line as far as future needs in the case that we have that type of a response. So it was good to bring him on board with that.
Yeah.
Of course, also continue the capital and operating budget preparation and reviews with the chief and the various councils, and that's an ongoing process. As far as calls for for the month of January, we had 701 calls, averaging 22.6 per day. We had 14 fires. 3 of those were building fires. 39 rescues. 17 of those were motor vehicle accidents with injuries, and 6 of them elevator rescues. For emergency medical responses, we had 416, and on 8 of those, firefighters drove the ambulance to the hospital. We had 29 hazardous conditions, the majority being gas leaks and spills, which was 18. We had 40 public assist calls. The majority of those calls were water problems, as we had a month of freezing and thawing, which affected both domestic water and also sprinkler systems. So we had a lot of water calls in the past month. We had 33 smoke scare good intent calls and 126 automatic alarms. If you go to the cumulative statistics for January 2022, as I said, we had 701 calls. That's up from 503 calls in 2021. So significant increase from last year. And as we've said in previous commission meetings, 2020 was really an odd year because of COVID. The statistics for 2020 were down, but that's because of the pandemic and the effects that had on our call volume.
Mhm.
So now comparing to last year, you can see that we're truly up. And we had 1,123 total runs in January as compared to 791 runs in 2021. So
Wow.
the numbers are up there.
Mhm.
I also added in the notes at the very bottom, in 2021, our increase in incidents from 2020 was we were up 1,005 at the end of last year.
Mhm.
And we were up about 1,700 plus runs from 2020. So the 2021 was definitely a busier year than 2020.
Mhm.
Mhm.
2021, in fact, we had an increase of incidents from our previous record high year, which was 2019. So we were up 453 calls from 2019, which was our previous high. So as you can see, the incidents are up. We're hearing that they're up across the region. So we're not alone in that, but it is keeping the companies busy. But the firefighters are doing great work out there.
Mhm.
As far as notable incidents for January, we had a smoke
Chief,
condition, but yes.
Can I ask a question or make a comment before you go into that?
Sure, Commissioner.
I haven't spoken to the mayor on this, but I think as a commissioner, I want to be more engaged in the physical health of the firefighters. So I'm wondering if in your reports, in your monthly reports, if you can include a stat on any incident in which one of our people has been slightly injured or had any reportable incident that we would want to be aware of, so that we can follow up on it properly and make sure that we've established procedures so that no one at all gets injured while doing their job.
No, definitely, I'll make a note of that, and I can include that in next month's report.
Thank you.
Okay. And as I said, finally, our notable incidents, we had a smoke condition at the Extended Stay America up on Main Avenue. PD was on scene for a disturbance up there and called when they saw smoke coming out of one of the rooms. And it turns out they had an occupant there who was using a charcoal grill in his room. So fire department quickly took care of that, and the police department handled the occupant and taking care of that situation. The inspection bureau also responded to that call. We had a couple of vehicle fires, and then we also had a major structure fire on Reynolds Street. Companies had heavy smoke showing from the roof when they pulled up on that scene. Engine 3 advanced the initial attack line. Engine 2 got a water supply and then advanced a second hose line to back up engine 3. We had both truck companies laddered the roof and ventilated the structure, which improved interior conditions, allowing the fire to be extinguished more quickly. And the rescue company forced exterior doors and checked the building for any occupants, and there were none. So any commercial fire can pose complications. However, this incident ran very well. which can be attributed to the training and the capable firefighters who responded. And we had excellent leadership on scene by the officers who were there. So this one ran very smoothly, and there were no injuries reported for a large fire, which is always a success. And I can take any questions.
Nope. No additional questions. Thank you.
Very good.
Give me 1 minute. I have a quick phone call I have to take. It'll be 1 minute. Sorry about that, gentlemen. It was about another meeting I have coming up, so. All right, so
That's
any
quick.
questions? Any questions?
No.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the fire marshal's report.
Hi, good
Marshal
afternoon, everyone.
Sawyer.
Good afternoon. I hope everybody's doing well.
Good afternoon.
All right, for January, we had 105 inspections, 114 notifications. That includes some of the delinquent multifamilies, public education events too. We did 18 plan reviews, 15 liquor license inspections for a total of $2,225. Fires, code issues, and hazards combined, we did an investigation total of 16. And our new inspector begins, I believe, February 22nd in the fire investigation module. And that way we get, another person up here.
Mhm.
And the part-time inspectors, the hiring, it's in the works with Fire Chief Gatto. That's all I have. Any questions?
Great.
No.
Okay, thank
Thank
you. Next item is, I believe, emergency management. Mr. Luca?
Hi, good afternoon. Really just a few quick things. The president has approved the FEMA declaration for Ida, which was back in, I think, August or September, to include the public assistance. So starting this week, we will begin that process of reimbursement for municipal expenses. Before it had been for the residential damage and small businesses. Everything had been a bit delayed due to Middlesex County being added to that public assistance declaration. So again, now everything is in place. We'll work with finance, public works. Most of the expenses for Ida were DPW related. But again, we will go through the process of getting the reimbursement for that. Usually it takes about a year or two before everything is closed out. So it is definitely a marathon on that end. The COVID test kits and masks have all been distributed. We got the last set to the Interdenominational Ministers Fellowship, the IMF. And they will help distribute to some of the congregates who are shut in and may not have access to technology. So they'll work on that next. And then finally, looking ahead a little bit, summertime, there's a small group of us that are working with Circa on doing a heat sensor project. That probably will start, I think, in May. And the idea is to be able to measure urban heat and the impacts. So we're trying to figure, I think, 5 or 10 locations for those sensors, and then also work on some of the extreme heat safety messaging and any other outreach activities that we might be able to collaborate together with Circa, and again, with the health department and some of the other community partners on that extreme heat awareness. So it's a little bit of a ways off as we're waiting for, I'm sure, more snow and the cold weather. But again, it will be here sooner than we know it. So again, that work is starting now for summertime. And I think that's it. When we are monitoring the potential for high winds Thursday to Friday, which may cause some damage for power outages and trees and wires. But we'll know more on that tomorrow.
Okay, great. Thank you. Commissioner?
No questions.
Great, thank
Okay,
you.
next, the Training Division Report, Deputy Chief Markowitz.
Good afternoon. We've had a busy couple of months since the last time we met. We did one of the drills we conducted with rescuing a victim off a flat roof, which simulated a construction accident. And I included a picture of it. We set one of the ladder trucks up and we practiced rigging up a system to get a person off a flat roof. We did new recruit pump operator training, which resulted in 4 of our new recruits getting signed off to drive the apparatus, with the others are still in training. They should be signed off shortly. We did bailout refresher training. I included a picture of that as well. That's for bailing out of a window if the conditions present themselves that, there's no other way out. So we conducted the training with our new systems that we just recently purchased. We completed the department physicals. We conducted our fire department connection / high-rise pack refresher training back in December, right before it started to get cold. We conducted a cancer prevention class for the entire department. We started in January the EMS recertification training, which started in January and will conclude on March 2nd. That's for it's open to the whole department. Anyone who's due up to be recertified is in that class. We just finished forceful entry training for the entire department. Captain Capamola was instrumental in getting that accomplished. Our 6 new recruits started the Connecticut Fire Academy 2 weeks ago. And as of Monday, they were there in person. The first 2 weeks were virtual. This past Sunday night, they reported there in person, and they have, I believe, 16 more weeks left. So that started this week in person. And then last, our department training hours for 2021. Back in 2017, as a department, our company training was 2,917. In 2021, the total was 5,251 for a 45% increase.
Nice.
Wow.
And then from a firefighting standpoint, from personnel standpoint, back in 2017, the total was 15,698 total hours. 2021, it was 20,658 total hours, an increase of 20%. We couldn't have done that without the officers and firefighters and their commitment to training.
Yeah.
So I want to thank them for the time that they put in, and that's a direct, that success is directly linked to them. So I want to say thank you to them, and I can take any questions if you have any.
You can never train too much.
Nope. Not for a job that can kill you.
Right,
You're
exactly.
Yep.
I totally agree, and thank you for keeping our staff fit and up to date on technology and new techniques. You're doing a great job. Love the pictures. Thank you for sharing us.
You're welcome.
Okay, next item is the local 8:30 report. There is none, but I see firefighter Brown is here. I don't know if he has anything to add.
Hi, everyone. Nothing of note to report from Local 830. We are hopeful by next month we should be able to provide a list of upcoming events for 2022 that hopefully you, Mr. Mayor, and the commission will be able to join us. So hopefully we'll have that for you next month.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
No old business, no new business, correspondence. Thank you letters attached and a retirement letter attached. Chief?
So just briefly, couple of thank you letters. One was we responded to a gas leak on North Water Street. And this individual just wanted to thank us for the quick response and to put her heart at ease. Another young lady, 89 years old, credits the fire marshal's office because she needed batteries changed in her smoke detector or to replace them. And Roderick sent out a couple of inspectors, and she was very happy with how they were very courteous to a senior, and she's very happy. I can't really read her name, but she was on Powderhorn Road in Norwalk.
Yep.
And she wrote a
Larissa
letter.
something.
I'm sorry?
I couldn't tell either, but her first
Yeah.
name is Larissa.
All right, but she was very grateful.
Oh, Louise,
So
sorry.
the
Louise Reynolds.
Very good.
retirement letters, we have our ex-fire inspector, Edgar Lopez. He retired on January 14th. And he was hired back in September 6th of 2011, so he had 10.35 years of service. Another firefighter submitted his letter. His last day was February 1st, and he was hired January 29 of 09, and he completed 12.95 years of service. And lastly, we have Mike Fratello, who was in the drop back in 2019. And he was scheduled to leave December 31 of 23, but he's now opted out of the drop as of March 31st this year. So that is the retirement letters that I have.
Isn't that opting out of the drop? Isn't that supposed to be approved by the commission?
Well, he's just leaving early. Other
Okay.
people have done that as well.
Okay. Yeah, just check the requirements for that. Just make sure we're doing it right.
Okay,
Yeah, I was going to ask the same
I mean,
question.
it was a regular retirement, not a disability.
Yeah. No, I got that. It's, I know that when we had one of the fire lieutenants want to opt out of the drop so he could take compete for a promotion. We didn't allow that because it was not a bona fide reason, I believe.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Chief. Any questions or comments, Commissioner?
No,
Okay, so you already did the
Well, I need to get to the
Personnel.
bottom of the personnel column.
the results of the fire inspector exam.
Right, so we had, after we knew that Edgar was leaving, we had to post an exam for fire inspector. We gave the exam and one firefighter passed the written test. And he scheduled to actually start tomorrow. And then is actually going to his first, I believe it's the arson investigation module beginning February 23rd. And he should be completed both of those modules, I believe, in April or May of this year. So I have the actual publication list that I need to send around for you to sign. But we'll get that in the mail out to everybody. And the last one is just executive session very quickly.
Do we have a special link?
We
yes,
do.
we do.
Yeah, I'm not sure I have it because I looked for it before. So I'm going to leave this meeting. If you could send me the link to the executive.
I'll get
Okay.
that right over to you.
All right, Larry, you're gonna do that? All right, so we're
Oh, yep,
leaving this
yeah, the
meeting.
meeting is already running. So what we can do is you can just go ahead and join that one. Once everybody's in, I'll leave it and just come back to here. So when you're finished, just come back to this meeting like you did in the first place, and then it'll be all set.
Okay, so we're gonna get out of this one.
Yep, get out of this one. The executive session link will be in your email. So just go ahead and join that, and then just come back here when you're finished.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have a nice day, everyone.
Okay, thank you. It is now 3:40. We're out of executive session. During executive session, no votes were made. No motions were made, no votes were taken. Before I forget, when I clicked off before, I thought I saw Commissioner Abel. Chapel.
no, yeah, that was me.
Oh, okay.
Somehow her link, her ID is getting interlinked with mine.
Because I wanted to let you know, I don't know if she's going to be able to continue serving, but she has been transferred to a place in Long Island. And I
Yes,
don't know what that means. whether she's going to be leaving here permanently or not.
Yep.
Just wanted to-
I think that given the anticipation that she's leaving in July, actually at the end of June, that we would thank her for considering accepting the position, but that we are going to offer to another minority candidate.
Okay. No further discussion? Accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And it's at 3:42. We are adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen, for your
Okay,
time.
Thank you very much.
Have a
Have a
great
good night.
rest of the week and rest of the month.